My name is Rachael Thomas, and I have the privilege of representing the riding of Lethbridge, Alberta, and I belong to the Conservative Party of Canada. I think I've always had a passion for community and building into people. And I've done that in a variety of ways throughout my life, whether it's teaching or leading various kids programs when I was younger, doing humanitarian work in developing countries, or working as a sociologist. It took me a while, I guess, to find my way to political office, and yet it really took no time at all. And so it was something that was encouraged by many individuals around me and something that I gave great consideration to. And at the end of the day, ended up saying, you know what, I think I can make a difference. I think I can positively impact my country and serve the nation of Canada for a great future. And so I put my name on a ballot. Yeah, when I think about my proudest accomplishment, I guess for me, it doesn't come down to just one thing, but rather I would say it's the day-to-day and the interactions that I get to have, that I get to steward. And so, I think some of the things that I love most about my responsibilities or the opportunities that are presented to me are going into classrooms and talking to young people. Hosting a youth advisory board on a regular basis, being able to host town halls and hear from constituents directly, be able to have a pancake breakfast and have it open to the public and to be able to interact with folks as they come through the line. Being able to go to different events or celebrations and just to be in my community and celebrating who people are and what they're offering to this great country. When I think about what motivates me to show up in this place each and every day, ultimately it comes down to people. It comes down to the people who call Canada home. It comes down to the constituents who have elected me to represent them in this place. And so I want to pay attention to what's most important to them, and I want to make sure that I'm an active voice on their behalf. And so I would say, first and foremost, a passion to represent them well is what motivates me. But also, I carry deep within my being a passion and a commitment to justice. So any issues around freedom and choice and opportunity would certainly be primal for me. This is an interesting question. What is something that I learned only after becoming a member of Parliament? It's an interesting question because I think before I put my name on a ballot, I talked to a lot of people who had been here before me, individuals who I would consider mentors, and they gave me a lot of advice and they pulled back the curtain and they allowed me to see through their worldview. But it's not until you get here that you actually get to see this place through your own eyes. And it's at that point when you go, oh. And I think probably the thing that I found most surprising was maybe that they weren't lying when they said things move slow. I think we have this ideal that it's nice for parties to work across party lines in order to accomplish things. It's certainly an ideal that I came into the House of Commons with and opportunities that I looked for. I was able to make some strides in that direction, in particular working with a number of members of Parliament who were, like me, passionate about tackling violence against women and girls and seeing that alleviated. At first, it seemed like we made some really great strides. I think, though, if I reflect honestly, I was disappointed because the relationship unraveled quickly. And so I think there's a long ways to go still in Canada's Parliament, and that we do need to exercise discipline as elected officials to stay the course and choose the better thing. And the better thing is ultimately working together for the good of Canadians rather than taking partisan attacks. I think the biggest challenges to democracy are Complacency. When we as a Canadian people turn too much control, too much power, too much decision-making ability over to the government and don't insist on holding freedom for ourselves, choice for ourselves, the opportunity to pursue our own well-being, when we cede that territory, it starts to chip away at the foundations of democracy. When I look at young people, I see passion, I see idealism, I see a desire for a better world. And those things are fabulous and they should be celebrated. And I think what opportunity is there for us is actually for the younger generation to work with other generations. When we can do that, when we can bridge generations, when we can work collectively, we can build a great country, because you can take the energy and the idealism and the inspiration that young people hold, and you can combine it with the wisdom and the foundational understanding, the experiences of the older generation. And when those two come together, you really can build a great country. And so I think, when I consider Canada's future, it's that picture of generations working together that I think will bring us into great vibrancy. If I was to give my 16-year-old self a piece of advice, it would probably be something that I share with a lot of young people that I have the opportunity to spend time with. And that is, I would say to her, be continuously curious and always courageous.